Jessica Brevard, and this is Kitchen Table Productions, a show all about living well with low carb. Well, I've got another great pumpkin recipe for you today. This one is a pumpkin custard. Now this is lush and decadent and delicious, and it's only 4 carbs, so how can you go wrong, right? Well, I'm going to show you to make that. My first step is to set my oven to 350 degrees. Now this is 1.25 cups of heavy cream. I'm just going to bring this up to a boil over medium heat. And I want to keep an eye on this because boiling cream bubbles up and can boil over very rapidly. Keep a very close eye on this. Now I'm using heavy cream here because it has the least amount of carbs. If you don't mind the slightly higher carb count, feel free to go ahead and use light cream. They work both just as well. Now while that is coming up to a boil, I'm going to prepare my vanilla bean. This is where vanilla comes from. It's the seed pod of a very special orchid. A good bean is leathery like this one. See how it's kind of moving? It's got some give to it. This one's a bit past its prime. It's brittle. It doesn't bend. It just cracks. This isn't good. This is what you want. Now to get to all the vanilla-y goodness here, I'm going to take this bean. I'm basically going to split it from one end to the other. I'll go into the middle. I'm actually going to pull my bean. It's a little safer than trying to do it the other way around. I will turn. Put that in my board, and again, pull my bean. Beautiful. Now you kind of open this up, and you see all those sparkles in there. There's a lot of these little, basically these are the little seeds, all these little black dots. That's what we want. We're going to scrape this bean just like this. See all that? That is what we want to get out of this. Whoops, see how quickly this is coming up? When my cream is ready, I'm going to add the vanilla I scraped in earlier. Just want to get all that yummy seeds inside, right off my knife. I'm also going to add the pods, because there's still a lot of good vanilla flavor in there. I'm not going to let my vanilla steep in my cream for about 20 minutes. While that's happening, I'm going to go separate 5 eggs. Alright, my 20 minutes are up, and I'm going to fish out the vanilla bean pods. Now if you want, you can wash these in cold water, and certainly don't throw them away just yet. Oh, I want the pods and not the beans. There we go. Wash them off in cold water. I still have a use for those. I'm going to show that to you later in the show. Right now I need to get on a pot of boiling water. Okay, now that the cream and the vanilla have done their thing, I'm going to get the rest of this ready. I've got here 5 large egg yolks. I'm going to whisk them up. Get them nice and broken up. Now to this, I need to add 6 tablespoons of sweetness, equivalent to sugar. I can either add 6 tablespoons of granulated Splenda, or I'm going to add this instead. What this is, it's a liquid sucralose. Now unlike a granulated Splenda, this adds no carbs. So it's great stuff. It's 1 drop equals a teaspoon, so for 6 tablespoons, I'm going to need 18 drops. Now, if you want an extra sweet custard, you could certainly add a little bit more. Pretty well mixed in. You'll have to do a lot more mixing if you use the granulated, of course. All right, now I'm going to add in a tablespoon or so, maybe half a tablespoon, of some freshly grated nutmeg. There you go. And a half a cup of some canned pumpkin. See, it comes like this. Just make sure that you don't get pumpkin pie filling. You don't want that. It should be thick. It should be orange. This is some good stuff. Alright, now that that's smooth, I'm going to whisk in my cream and my vanilla bean. There we go. Now my pumpkin custard is ready to roll. I'm going to pour this back into my pot just because my pot has a little spout, a little bit easier for pouring into my ramekins. Okay, now it's time for my portioning. I'm using these 8-ounce ramekins. I have 6 of them here. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them all or not. I like using ramekins for low-carb desserts. So many carby crusts can be avoided, and the portion control is so much more accurate. Now I'm just going to distribute this pumpkin mixture evenly among my ramekins here. Beautiful. Looks like I only needed 5. I'll just get rid of this one. Now I'm going to put this in my oven, and I need to add a hot water bath to it. I'm going to put this in first without the water. Alright. As I said, these go in first. Just like that. I'm leaving this corner out to Get myself a good place to pour. I don't have to worry about fighting with the top of the oven. I want my water to come about halfway up the side of these things. Now I'm going to bake these in here in my water bath for about 20 minutes. Now here's what I've done with my leftover vanilla bean pods. I took the pods, I very carefully washed them in cold water, make sure I got all that cream off. Then I cut them into 1-inch pieces and put it back in the bottle it came in. I then filled up the rest of the bottle with vodka. Now the alcohol in the vodka should help extract the rest of that great vanilla flavor out. And basically what I'm doing here is creating my own low-carb vanilla extract. There's going to be no extra sugars in this. Now I should take this and leave it in a cool, dark, dry place, probably for about 2 weeks. Now this is that same bottle 2 weeks later. As you can see, this looks like a yummy, delicious, and it smells fabulous, let me tell you. Vanilla extract with no added sugars. Okay, now because you've made this yourself, the strength may vary depending on how good your vanilla was, how good your vodka was. So whatever you use, homemade vanilla extract, make sure you taste your recipes just to make sure that everything is as vanilla as you would like. And here is my beautiful pumpkin custards. Now that vanilla bean is a little expensive, I'll admit. If you wanted to, you could just substitute a tablespoon of regular old vanilla. However, I love the vanilla bean. I think it's really worth it for a special treat. Well, that is the pumpkin custard. Now, as I made it today with the liquid sucralose, it would work out to be about 4 carbs a serving. Now, if you wanted to use regular sucralose, that would work out closer to about 5 or 6. Now, you could top this certainly with a little bit of whipped cream if you want, sweetened with some Splenda, or you could use some spiced pecans. Now, I've got that recipe available on my website. They're very yummy. For that recipe and for this one, please check out my website, kitchentableproductions.net. I'm Jessica Brevort, and this has been Kitchen Table Productions.